Three, two, one. How's it going, everybody? Sorry for the small, spooky ambience we got going on here today, but just like you guys requested, we are going to be doing the spooky ghost stories today. We got here my mother, my amazing mother. We got our amazing friend Lex right here. She's got some amazing stories she says that she wants to tell us. And we got my cousin Eric all the way at the end over there. And we are going to be sharing our experiences with you. I hope that you guys enjoy, and whoever would like to go first, I encourage you to go first. Anybody? Any takers?
I can start and keep it a little light at first. Hearing you talk brought up a big story in my life, and I mentioned that my sister was a medium. So when she was really young, she started telling us that she could see people in the house and she felt spirits, and she didn't know who they were. And at first it started with my grandpa, who had passed away, and he had been sitting in the chair just like across from her, and she would say that she'd wake up and she could see Papa. And we were like, okay, all right, Aubrey, yeah. And I knew that she wasn't lying, because I was like, why would she lie about something like that? And then it started to get darker, and then she would say that there was the stairs, like right in the middle of our house, right next to my parents' room. There's these stairs, and it was like one of those stairs that like it goes down and then it goes to the side and then it goes back down the other side. And she would say that she could see a figure just right there all the time, and it was just on those stairs. And what was really weird is that, like, before she had said that, I always had this weird feeling on the stairs where I would have to run up the stairs really fast, or go down really fast. And it wasn't like, it was just an automatic thing that I kept doing. And I had never seen anything, but I had felt deeper. And she had, it was just crazy to feel, or to hear it from her, and saying that, like, she could see that figure. And then, like, slowly after she started saying that, we would hear things, or like we know there would be nobody in the house, and my mom would be downstairs, and she would hear us call, and we would be in our rooms like sleeping or something, and my mom would hear us be like, mom, and then we would do the opposite too. I'm getting chills just thinking about it right now. And then the opposite would happen, where I would be downstairs and I would hear my mom upstairs and no one was in the house, and I'd hear her go, Lexi, like it was playing with us. And I remember just hearing those voices, and then just feeling that dark energy. And then the more and more we stayed in that house, like, my sister was opened up to that portal, or however she was able to see it, and she would be laying in her bed, and I remember her telling me these stories, and just like laying in the bed and saying that she could feel this presence, like all these demons were like, and faces were standing over her bed. And I don't know, I'm not doing her story justice, because I'm not her, and it's been a long time since she talked about it, but I definitely remember sitting right across from her, and as she's talking about it, she got to a point where she was in the bed, and she just started to kind of melt into the bed, and she was like, Lexi, I can't talk about it anymore. Like, she was like, they're not letting me talk about it. She's like, I can't have no more energy anymore. And they were just pushing down on her. And then I was like, okay. Okay. And then I've even had dreams, like, where I would wake up in the middle of the night, and something bad would happen to my sister, where she would be hurt, or I would have to be looking for her over and over in my dreams. As I go.
No. Just in case. Doesn't want to go.
That's not your fingerprint.
What?
It doesn't want us to talk about it.
What? That's weird.
It's still recording, because if you go right here. Alright, guys, bloopers.
So, yeah.
Bloopers.
They don't want us to talk about it. That's one
Uh-huh.
thing,
I
is
know.
that the demons, the dark part, don't like this. And so that is very something to be cautious of. And I've been kind of playing with this, and this is my protection right now, because I'm not, I'm very protected, and this is in very dark, deep things. But the moment I was gonna get to it, that my sister, that we left that house, or what I was saying was that I would have the bad dreams about her, and I immediately woke up and I went to her room, picked her up, and brought her into my room and placed her next to me. And it was just that gut feeling that was something told me to go get her. And eventually she got put on medication and she went to therapy and stuff, and slowly she didn't have that connection anymore, luckily, and she was able to find God, and she's Catholic and very, very into the church right now. And so it's
Thank God.
because she was able to get out of that and find her way back to peace. But ever since we left that house, like since that moment, there was a lot of bad energy and a lot of bad things would happen. And even with my mom and my family, like it was just a very hard kind of life that was going on. It was just something was always off. And that moment that we left that house, we all kind of did our own thing, but like we could feel that energy was never around us anymore. Even for my sister didn't have it anymore. It was something in that house had been dark enough to affect all of us. And one thing is that I told him earlier is that my father was very mentally strong, and he always told me that you could create a block in your brain and in your aura and your life that protects you against these things. So you will still feel them, but they will not impact you, and they will not take away from your spirit. So as you are watching this, be mindful that you have the power to protect yourself as well. And that is not something that anybody can take away, but it's also nothing that anybody can give you, and only you can give yourself.
Well, my story. So this is a pretty I feel like this is kind of scary, but the reason why is because there was one time when I was living down in City Heights area, right? We were living in this small house, and I remember my little brother and sister were so small. They were like still kind of newbornish, you know? So me and my brother Christian, we were sitting and playing, Call of Duty, back when it was like the best game in the world. So we were sitting down, and I just remember us thinking to ourselves, like, I wonder if the kids are okay. Like, they were down for their nap, They were, like, a part of us knew that they were okay, but something told us, like, I wonder what they're doing right now, or how they're doing, better said. I wonder how they're doing, and I wonder if they're, like, okay. So what we did is we got up, and as we were walking, we ended up hearing our sister, Lorelai, we ended up hearing her crying. And so we're just like, okay, so we're gonna go get her, whatever, it's fine. So we went, as we were going into the room to go get her, there was this drawer that was about like 5 drawers high, I guess you could say. Like, it was pretty tall. It was a tall looking drawer, multiple drawers on them, and we had a TV at the top. So how do you say, while we were going in, I remember, because I went to go get my little sister that time. I went in and I went to go grab her, and as we were grabbing her, there was a fan that was on the window that was like literally mounted on our window, with the window open and everything. We had it mounted, and we thought we had it stuck, where you put the window together so it can stay stuck, with the fan. And it was fine up until the point that I went to go grab my sister, and next thing you know, I see the fan, or I even hear it. The fan flies across the room, hits the drawers that the TV was mounted on, and then me and my brother both look at it, and we're just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, how did that happen? Like, it was perfectly mounted, and we just see it just fly across the room and boom, just crash onto the floor. And we're just stunned. And as we were going through, as we got my little sister, I already had her in my arms, but as we were trying to walk out, I remember I saw a rock fly through the window, almost hit me, and like luckily I ducked right on time, but it almost hit me, and immediately I looked through the window because I was thinking, like in my head, it was like a rapid thought, like if they threw a rock, they're probably running away. So like I was thinking maybe it was somebody. So I looked out the window. It was completely silent. Nobody was there, and I could just think to myself like, what the fuck was after me that night? Like, what if that fan would have hit me while I was holding my sister? What if something was targeting me? I don't know what was going on, but the one thing that I'm glad of is that I got my little sister out of there, because who knows what would have happened if I would have left her in there another second. That is truly frightening to me, and there's been many more things that have happened to me, and I'll share them with you guys the more that the video continues. But trust me, I got a lot more. But for now, we're gonna pass it on to Eric.
I remember my first time playing the Ouija board too, and it was just a day where me and my friends were fucking around, and we came to the mall, Chula Vista Mall specifically. We went to a Spencer's store, and they were selling Ouija boards inside. And so we got a Ouija board, and we were like, hey bro, like pitching some money, we're all gonna fucking grab this, we're gonna play it at my we played it at my friend Chris's house. And my friend Chris and my other friend Elmer pitched in, and we bought a Ouija board, and we played it at his house. But nothing really happened. I wasn't really sure if the Ouija board was moving or if my friends were moving it, but I know that there was a moment where the Ouija board did move, and it wasn't my friends, because my friends admitted to me towards the end that they were moving it and that they were fucking with me. So I was like, so you guys were just fucking with me, all fun and games. Until the night after that, I started having like sleep paralysis. Like, I never had that until I fucking started playing that shit. And I was just telling my friends, like, what the fuck? Like, dude, like, I couldn't move from my bed. Like, I couldn't move for shit. I couldn't talk. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. And then they were like, bro, like, we were like, oh, like, it's probably nothing, you probably just couldn't sleep well. Like, they were just trying so hard to convince me that there was nothing going on. And then, like, a week or two, nothing was happening in my house until I got home one day from school, and everybody was still in school or at work. So my mom was messaging me, telling me that the dishes weren't done yet. And so I was like, okay, I'll agree to do them. And so I went home, I started doing the dishes, and we had this Google Nest Wi-Fi thing right there, the little portable screen, and we had it connected to the kitchen counter, and there was a plug right next to it. And I started playing some music, like the type of rap music I would always listen to. And I was checking around that, like, before I even started washing the dishes, I checked around the fucking house to make sure nobody was home, because nobody was home. And I was looking in my mom's room, my sister's room, and my room, and the room that was in the far left corner of the house, that was my other sister's room. So we had like 3 or 4 rooms total, and a whole ass living room too. There was nobody there. And so when I was washing the dishes, I just heard something say my name, but like in the tone of my sister's voice. And I was like, what the fuck? And so like I tell the Google Wi-Fi thing to stop the music. I was like, hey Google, stop the music. and the music stopped, and I like took a few minutes to like to hear out, you know, like like I was trying not to fucking see if I didn't trip out, and so I wasn't tripping out. Like I replied back to the fucking thing. I was like, all I said was, Lupe, is that you? Because that's my sister's name, is Lupe. And I was like, Lupe, is that you? And the thing was like, yes. Like, it responded back to me, and I was like, what the fuck? So I thought, in my head, I thought Lupe was like, Lupe came out of the bathroom or something, and like she went to the living room. But I was wrong. So I was doing the dishes. I finished it, and when I finished it, my mom came home, and my sister was with my mom, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, bro, are you for real right now? Like, I was just I didn't see her. I didn't even see her anywhere. Like, nobody was in the house but me. And I came back from school early.
Google answered you that it was her.
No. Google. I was telling Google to stop the music.
But when you said Google, is that you, Lupe? And she.
No. I was just responding back to what it said my name, cause the ghost said my name. Like whatever was over there said my name and knew me, but like was trying to impersonate Lupe, pues.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, I heard it in Lupe's voice, but like in the type of way that Lupe would never say something, you know? She just said, yes, like that, like in the most calm way, like yes, or she was like, Eric, like that. But Lupe would usually be like, Eric, like that, you know, more high pitched. But this time it was like, Eric, like that, and I was like, what the fuck? And then when Lupe came home, I went up to them and I was like, Lupe, was that you? Like, were you in the living room? I told her. And then she was like, no, I wasn't even here. I was with my mom the whole time. And I was like, I at that point, I fucking spooked out really hard because I got chills. And then I started freaking out. And I told my mom I did not want to fucking be in the house anymore after that. Because like I couldn't sleep well after that, after Lupe told me that, because now I know that there's something in the house, and like Lupe told me that it wasn't her, you know, it was something else. And so now I have a fucking way of believing that like something was there, and I spoke to something that I wasn't supposed to talk to. And like, yeah, and like Lupe told me straight up, she was like, I was with my mom the whole time, like I wasn't even home. And I was like, like what, dude? Like, are you fucking with me right now? I told her, like, you better not be fucking with me right now. And then she was like, no, like I wasn't here, like don't. It was like, are you like, did you actually hear something? I was like, yes, like I heard you talking to me. And she was like, no, I wasn't here. But yeah, it might have been something got attached to me somehow. Well, now when my friends were playing it, because I didn't lay my hand on it, but I was there. But I was something followed me instead of them.
Exactly.
Because like
They say that the Ouija board, wherever you leave it at.
it was at my house.
It was at your house.
It was at the top of my
Same thing that
closet.
happened to me. Even though it wasn't in my dad's house, but we left it in the backyard
Uh-huh.
and like under shit or whatever. Like it didn't happen like right away. It happened like after years, 1 or 2 years. Shit started happening in the house. But it's true. Like that shit, like just like follows your ass.
Yeah, like after that I was freaked out really bad. Like I couldn't sleep well. Like I started Joanne was hearing things. My brother was hearing things. Like he woke me up in the middle of the night one time and he told me, it was like, Eric, like I hear something outside of the door. And I was like, what the fuck? And guess what? No, that's not even the worst fucking part. The worst part after that was when Joanne said that shit, the fucking door went boom. Like that. By itself. It was closed because Joanne usually locked it.
One of the things that happened to me and my older brother
Uh-huh.
is one time we were watching TV in the living room, and like my dad was already asleep, and it was like the window was like right there, like where you were at, and like it was like okay, like we're watching TV, all calm and everything, and suddenly just somebody like just fucking knocked on it, like boom, 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 like it was like the fucking police or something, you know, like. And my dad's room was like right next to like the front door, you know. He just can get up and look out the window. So he got up and like look out the window because he heard the knock. And me and my brother was like, what the fuck is knocking at like so late at night? And me, I'm the kind of person that was I'm always the kind of person that was like, what's going on, any little fucking thing that I hear, noise or whatever, I go open up and shit. Like I always want to like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
you know?
you're so
I'm
curious.
not afraid. I'm not afraid, and I'm so curious about shit. So I opened the door, but back then, for my, you know, where my dad's house is, like back then they hadn't like did the pavement or nothing, you know, so it was just dirt. So if in case somebody ran, you could hear, you know, the steps like you know, wherever they fucking ran to. So I opened the door, there was nobody there. And I fucking went out there and fucking looked out, and my dad was like right there, you know, as soon as he heard the knocks or whatever. And my dad got in my ass, was like, why did you open the door? What about if there was like people that wanted to hurt us or whatever the shit, you know, like you could have put us in danger or whatever. And I was like, but at that time you just like, you know,
You don't know shit.
act out of impulsive shit, and you do that. And that's one of the most shit that has happened to us. But my nieces, my sisters, and everything else in my dad's house, after I played the Ouija board, that until now has happened to that house, it's like hasn't stopped until now. And sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I think that house is waiting for me to come back there and like, you know, just discover what the fuck they want or whatever. Or sometimes I think that,
like they
what
still
about
want
if
something from you?
what about if I sometimes think like, what about if my dad's soul is trapped in there, you know? That's why I fucking like dreamed about it. But I don't think so in a way, because I know that my dad will always pray to like the, you know, to the lost souls or whatever. And they say that when you pray to the lost souls in heaven, they come at night and fucking knock, and you'll like wake you up and say, hey, you need to pray to us because they need to go to a higher level, and like for them, for God to forgive them for their sins. So I think that, you know, I don't know, I just think that I just think that the spirit world is something that there's a lot of us to learn about it.
Yeah.
We don't know.
I'm really curious, actually. Did the noise that you hear, did it sound something like this? Did it sound like like that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Like fucking loud.
That's fucking crazy. I'd be scared shitless, too.
Bro, I literally, I went like this, bro. I went on my wall, like on my bed. I was just looking at it. Like, I was like, Joanne jumped on my bed too.
Oh, shit.
I was like, what the fuck? And my mom came out and she was like, She was like, ¿Qué fue eso? Like, she was like, what the fuck was that? And I was like, the fucking door just banged by itself. I told her. I was like, do you heard that? She was like, see, it's like, and my mom was freaked out too. My mom was freaked the fuck out. And then I admitted to her that I played the Ouija board and she got pissed at me.
Damn.
Yeah, she said, but we fucking burned it though. We burned that shit.
That's a good thing. It's one of the ways to get rid of it.
Yeah, wait, that shit was getting worse, way.
Hey, even though we buried it, it still came back.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us on this amazing storytelling time that we had
Yeah,
here.
we're not gonna be able to see
We're gonna have another one of these. Hopefully, our guests can join us again.
More, just let us know if you guys want more stories about it. We have a lot.
Yeah, we got
This is just the pinnacle of what we've experienced. But
And real stories.
yeah, and thank you guys so much for watching this video. The magic of editing will, put it all in its place. And I really do hope you guys enjoy it and will want more in the future. And I will see all of you in the next video. Thank you so much for supporting me. Bye bye.